Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited today because it's release day for my first novel not written for children, although I love writing for kids, and my children's picture book and my young adult series. This one's for the grown-ups, so I hope everybody enjoys this story. And I want to share with you that this is my favorite book. Of all the books I've written, this is my favorite. I just love the characters. I love the story. And it just came right from my heart. So some of the characters in the story, and in fact, one of the main characters is not a human. I have two dog characters in this book. And I've been sharing that on my Facebook, social media. So if you've been following, you've seen some of those pictures. But if not, one of the main characters in this story is a mixed breed dog named Crash. And he belongs to a young gamer named Jace Calhoun. And I'm going to read in just a bit an excerpt from that chapter where you are introduced to those two characters. But there are a lot of characters in this story, and the story takes place in Cape Cod. And the reason I chose that area for the setting of the story is because of the large number of great white sharks that are in that area because of their big seal population. The seals draw the sharks because that's their main source of food. So I chose that area in particular because of the sharks, and there is a shark main character in the story as well. So I've always been fascinated with the sea and marine biology. Some of you may not know that I was very interested in marine biology and considered going into that as a career when I was in high school, because the ocean and everything in it just really fascinates me. It always has. So that's where this story kind of came from. And again, this one's my favorite. It came so easily. The characters came easily. The story just kind of, I wasn't even sure when I started writing where the story was going to go. And it all just kind of flowed right out of me. So I hope that you enjoy this story as much as I do. My author copies haven't come, so I just have my proof copy, but I have mine here, and it's called Beneath the Waves, and I'm wearing my shirt in honor of release day, and I'm just going to read a short excerpt. So get your coffee mug, and we can share coffee this morning. In this chapter, you are introduced to Jace and his dog Crash, as I was telling you about, and they're on their way to the beach. Crash likes to take a little dip in the ocean when he takes a walk. So let me find my place. Stop pulling, Crash. We're almost there. Crash looked back over his shoulder with a canine grin, but kept up his pace. If anything, he pulled harder. Crazy dog, Jace grumbled. When they reached the walkway through the dunes, Crash strained at the end of his leash, going up on his hind legs, front legs paddling in the air. His breathing came out with a strangled rush, rush, rush. Crash, geez, hold on. Jace's head darted from side to side as he spoke, checking for people. This was a dogs must be leashed beach, but despite the posted signs, he and Crash often came here for a swim. They hadn't been caught, yet. He undid the leash and rubbed his sore hand. In a blur of fur and legs, Crash took off in the direction of the water. Jace found a spot in the sand and sat down. It wouldn't take long for his mutt to exhaust himself, he knew. A chuckle escaped as he watched Crash pick up a tangle of seaweed and growl as he shook it back and forth in his mouth, just as he did at home with his toys. A killer instinct that was reduced to decimating stuffed toys, twigs, and rope toys in this domesticated breed of the species, and now, apparently, seaweed. Oh no, Jace leaped to his feet when he saw the drenched dog heading in his direction, still carrying the tangle of seaweed, which trailed on the ground as he ran. The salty, mildewed smell reached him just before the dog did. Crash dropped the seaweed at his master's feet and shook his entire body. The shake seemed to start at his head and travel the length of his body, ending with happy little tremors in the tip of his tail, water spewing in every direction. Hey, stop, dude! Holding his splayed hands out in front of him, Jace looked down at his wet pants and shook his head. "Crash, that's bad. Bad dog," he mumbled. The dog dropped down into the sand and rolled onto his back, tongue hanging sideways, tail twitching. He looked backward at Jace as if to say, "I'm sorry." "Crazy dog," Jace barked out a reluctant laugh. "I'm still triggered. I should take you back to the pound. That's what I should do." As he reached down to ruffle the soggy, sand-encrusted hair on his dog's head, a glint of light from inside the seaweed forced him to shield his eyes. "Whoa," he said, moving in to take a closer look. "What's that you got there, buddy?" Jace's eyes widened as he bent to examine Crash's find. The dog, now standing with his chest puffed out and head held high, seemed very proud of his discovery. He leaned closer, his nose twitching before he looked up at Chase, tail whipping a circular pattern in the air. Jace glanced at him before his eyes were drawn back to the object in the sand. "Whoa," he repeated. "What is this?" So that's just a part of chapter 3. And the main premise of the story is that different people in Cape Cod are finding these objects that similar to what Chase and Crash just found, what Jace and Crash just found on the beach. So different people are finding them. An almost ready to retire school teacher, Maggie Lee, finds one on the beach. And Bob, a retired police officer who is now living in an assisted living community, is reconnected with that he has, the same kind of thing. And Sophiana, a marine biologist who's studying a great white shark, snaps a picture of the shark and finds something similar lodged into the mouth of one of the great white sharks she's following. So what they don't know is that these objects have a certain kind of power. And then they all get together and kind of solve that mystery. So I hope you'll grab a copy of Beneath the Waves today. It is available now. It's available at Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, and it's also available on Kindle Unlimited. It's available in ebook form, but if you're part of Kindle Unlimited, you can download it today for free and get started reading. So it's available now, just in time for the July 4th holiday weekend. So if you have a little bit of extra time for reading, I hope you'll consider reading Beneath the Waves. And everybody, happy release day. Cheers with your morning coffee, and have a wonderful day. Woohoo! Release day.